In this video we are going to talk about the cheapest places to go in Italy. So before starting this video, like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel for future updates. So you're looking for the cheapest apartments in Italy? This is a fantastic option. A new life awaits, complete with cushiony Neapolitan pizzas and sumptuous Romana pastas, as well as Dolomite ski vacations and leisurely summer days on the Rimini Riviera's beaches. And don't worry if your budget is limited, there are still some fantastic options available. Here are the most affordable places to visit in Italy. Abruzzo. Abruzzo is a vast swath of central eastern Italy that has been carved apart. It pours into the sparkling Adriatic Sea on one side. On the other hand, it rises to the snow-capped summits of Italy's Apennines. Although it is close to Rome, it is not as well known as adjacent Lazio or nearby Umbria. What's the bottom line? Because the location isn't on the tourist map, prices aren't as inflated. However, it should be. Abruzzo is an absolute beauty. The western half of the region is a symphony of jagged mountains that rise to some of central Italy's wildest peaks and parks. One look at the Gran Sasso's cathedral-like spire and you'd swear you were deep in the Alps. Meanwhile, in the east, Roseto degli Abruzzi, Foghetta, and other places have long, uninterrupted stretches of golden sand. The towns in Abruzzo are the most expensive, but you won't pay the same premium as you would in Rome or Florence. Pescara, the largest city in the region, has a population of 350,000 people. City slickers should visit, as there is affordable housing on the outskirts of an old town that dates back to the Roman era but is now brimming with Art Nouveau mansions and pre-war palaces. Marche. Marche is a great alternative to Tuscany and Umbria for vacationers and expats who can't afford the farmhouse villas and vineyard stays that those uber-famous Italian regions have to offer. It's over on the eastern side of the Apennine chain, spilling down from the heights of Monte Cucco to the Adriatic Sea. As it goes, it offers all the rolling hills and wooded valleys and hill towns you could hope for. Eventually, Marche also opens onto salt-washed beaches. They are some of the best in eastern Italy, and regularly draw crowds from nearby Bologna and Venice with the promise of low-key and wallet-friendly camping sites by the waves. Check out places like Torrette, Murata, and Sassano if that sounds like your sort of thing. Don't miss a visit to the handsome towns that await here, either. Many have their roots in the Etruscan era, but others are famed for their great medieval relics. Top of the list is surely Urbino, a walled city that's capped by imposing church domes colored a distinct terracotta. There are paintings there by the great Raphael, along with palaces once inhabited by popes. Puglia. Puglia is the heel of the Italian boot. It's long been popular with visitors who come for the elaborate Baroque churches and piazzas of Lecce and the enthralling old town of Gallipoli. However, there's way more on offer than that. Take the whole swath of olive plantations and vineyards, some of the most productive in the country, no less, that awaits to the north. Or check the coast, where dramatic nature parks drop from high cliffs into a shimmering corner of the Med. Overarching all of this is a price tag that should be a lot less than most other regions in Italy. Bari, the regional capital and one of the main ports, is rated as the second cheapest city to live in Italy by Nomad List and is widely considered to be one of the cheapest places to live in Italy overall. On top of that, rates for villas and property are less than up north, especially if you leave behind the historic streets of Lecce province. Lake Iseo. If you're on a tight budget but are craving a taste of that jet-setter lifestyle offered by the Italian lakes, then look no further than Lago di Iseo. An S-bend of water that drifts through the Bergamo Prealps, it's got the same crystal-clear mountain waters and skyline of limestone mountains as Garda, Como, and Maggiore. Only it's a much more local option that shouldn't cost an arm and a leg to live in or visit. The best part of the lake is its northern side. Luckily, that's also the cheapest because it dodges the famous Franciacorta d'Osigi winelands on the southern shores, where towns like Iseo and Clusione boast better transport links to Milan and Verona. Summers in Iseo are all about swimming in the lake from the Lidos of Castro and Pisone. Spring and fall are peak hiking seasons. There are oodles of amazing trails to discover in the Sabino Park to the north. When the snow falls, you're only a short drive from the Dolomites, but there are also more affordable ski fields on the doorstep, at Montecampione, for example. Avellino. This is the fictional ancestral home of the titular family of mobsters, as keen viewers of HBO's hit series The Sopranos will have already deduced. Thankfully, it's more about rustic Campanian markets bursting with San Marzano tomatoes and buffalo mozzarella than it is about American gangsters. Oh, and according to destination aggregator Nomad List, it's the cheapest area to live in Italy for digital nomads. Avellino is a mid-sized town with a population of just over 54,000 people. It is located over 300 meters in the Partenio Mountains, in the far south of Italy. The golden Romanesque Avellino Cathedral, the ornate Bellerophon fountain, and a few of charming piazzas surrounded by espresso-scented cafes. It's also the capital of its own province, and we'd say that's where the real fun is to be had. You could be hiking in the Parco Regionale Monte Picentini, a rarely visited land of thundering waterfalls and beech woods, in just a few minutes. In the opposite way, you'll find the breathtaking Amalfi Coast, where lemon orchards meet pastel-painted towns in one of the world's most romantic destinations. The Alps of Apuana. The Apuan Alps, which crash down in a blinding display of dagger-like mountains to cap off the northern half of Tuscany, are every bit as dramatic as their namesake compatriots to the north. They are, however, far less frequented and largely unknown to fly-in visitors. That has had an impact on the cost of living here, particularly in terms of property. We were tempted on our last visit when we found a 4-bed country house for under $60,000 on the market in the Apuan Alps. The point is that the mountainous northern part of Tuscany, which is well known and often expensive, is nothing like what you'll discover south of Pisa. The rolling hills and high rates are no longer there. Instead, you may buy a home for a fraction of the cost of one in Chianti, and look out the window onto shark-fin peaks like the Pena della Croce. Apua, as the region is often known, is all about getting away from the crowds while still being close to some of North Tuscany's best attractions. The walled city of Lucca, for example, is only down the road, and Pisa is less than an hour away. You'll also have access to some of Italy's least traveled hiking trails. Sicily. It's commonly regarded as one of the boot's most cost-effective areas. Where else in the world could you get a house for €1? Well, Sicily is the epicenter of an urban rehabilitation effort in which local governments sell abandoned buildings for a single coin. Unfortunately, there is a flip side to this, as Sicily has some of the country's highest poverty rates. Oh, and it's home to the famed Cosa Nostra, the Sicilian mafia, with reports of their interfering with companies and everyday life still rather regular. However, there are numerous advantages to relocating to Sicily. More than 300 days of the year, the island is bathed in sunlight. From Ortigia to the Oasi Faunistica di Vendicari Reserve, the east coast is lined with beautiful beaches. You've got Mount Etna to climb, as well as places like Palermo and Catania that are positively brimming with grit and life. What do you think about this video? Do let us know down in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from us again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go.